All right, welcome back, guys. So we're going to continue from step 10 in our process of setting up Google Admob. So I'm going to bring up my code editor and I'll just save what I've done so far. And if you check this problems tab, you see that we don't have any problem. If not, it would have been listed here. And I think I should actually save this my home page because I did something on it. So I think if I save it now, let me just bring up my emulator. It will refresh. Oh, it has refreshed on my emulator. So that's fine. All right, so we are in step 10. Okay, so now what do we need to do? We need to import Admob into app.module.ts. okay, and then we need to add them to the providers. All right, so let's first off, we need to actually locate app.module.ts. okay, so just a second here. All right, so we're going to open our code editor like here. And if you look on this file tab, right, you'll see that we have app dot blah blah blah. So just look for app.module.ts, which is this one we have here, right? Click on it, and I'm going to minimize this tab so that we can have some space. So let me come back here and let's see. So it says we need to do some imports. So I'm going to copy this, and remember, when we want to import something, it's always at the top of the page. So I'll just come down and Control V to import these guys here. All right, so next we're supposed to add these imports to the provider. That's the second block here. So I'll copy these guys, I'll come here and I'll look for providers. So you see here we have providers, right? So what I'll do is basically I'll just click on this status bar. You can actually put it anywhere inside the providers, and I'll just place it there like so. Okay, that's fine. Let me see, what else do we need to do? Okay, so for this app module.ts we are done, so we can save this file and come back here. So we are in step 11. We are making progress real fast. All right, now we need to call the ads from home.page.ts. okay, so home.page.ts, let's go there. First off, we need to import Admob services. So let's just copy this guy and open up our code editor. I think I can, well, let me not close it since I still have some space here. So I'll just go to my home page. So where's my home page? This one here. And I'll look for home.page.ts, which is what we have here. Okay, I'll close the file explorer and I'll import what I copied. So just under this guy, I've imported it. So let's come back here. Where are we? We need to add services to the constructor. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll click to copy, I'll go back to my home.page.ts, and inside the constructor I'll just enter, that's inside the bracket, and paste in the Admob services. Okay, let's see. So next step. All right, so next step is we need to call the banner ad inside ng on init. Okay, so what am I going to do now is I'm going to copy this guy here. So let me click on copy, and just a minute, let me just make sure. All right, so I've copied this guy. Now I'll go to my code editor. Okay, and you see here we have ng on init right here. So I'm going to just come and, you know, inside of this curly brace, that's where I want to paste in what I copied. Now I'll paste that in. Okay, and let's see if there's any last thing we need to do. So that's this step here. Okay, so we need to call the interstitial ads. Oh, this should be interstitial ad. I made a mistake here. The first one is banner ad. This one should be interstitial ad. Okay, so but I'm going to change that before you get this course. Okay, so I'll just copy this and I'm supposed to place it below the ng on init. So let me go to my code editor, and this is where the ng on init starts, this is where it ends. So I'll just go down and paste that in. Okay, I know this seems very fast, okay, but just if you need to watch it twice, if you need to pause and do what I'm doing, make sure you do that, and make sure you do it exactly as I'm doing it for it to work. Okay, so apparently we are done. That's the last step. Okay, is it the last step? Okay, it's the second to last step. Okay, so we are almost done. Okay, so but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my emulator and I'm going to save this file. Now it's reloading on my emulator. So I'm getting an alert, class not found. I wonder why. Okay, so I really hope I've not missed a step for my my ads, but even if I have, I'm going to figure it out, and we're going to have ads display before the end of this tutorial, before the end of this course. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, just a moment, so I'm going to implement the last step. Okay, and apparently the last step is to call the interstitial ad on the from the home page. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to add it to a button. Okay, on a button click. Okay, so I'll copy this and I'll bring up my code editor, and I'll just go to my homepage.html, and for this button I'll add it as an attribute. So you see we have router link and it's going somewhere, so I'll just come here, give a space, and paste in what I copied from the toolkit, and then I'm going to save. Okay, so it's supposed to reload. Okay, so it's reloading. Okay, so I'm getting an alert here that class not found. Okay, which is some kind of error. So we are going to have, I'm going to figure that out, and we're going to solve that and see why it's not loading. So apparently there appears to be an error on this application, such that when you reload, the banner ads is supposed to display at the footer, but we're getting this error, class not found. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the Android platform, and I would install it again. So I'm just going to write it out. So I'll say Ionic Cordova. So Ionic Cordova platforms, and I'll say remove Android. Okay, so previously we did Ionic Cordova add Android. We copied it from the toolkit and it added the Android platform. So now I'm going to remove the Android platform and then add it again, and hopefully that class not found error should be gone. And this is actually the first time I'm getting that kind of error. Well, maybe because I developed this application over like a few days, so I didn't record this video all at once in a single day. So along the way I may have done something to cause the error, but let's just try this out first and see what happens. All right, so now we are going to do add Android. So I'll say Ionic Cordova, and I'll change this to add an Android, and I'll hit enter. All right, so we've added Android to the platform. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Ctrl C, and what this will do is that it will discontinue the live server function for like the browser. For example, I'm sure of the browser, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this application on the Android emulator. So I'm going to close it, and I think we still need to troubleshoot and find out why it's not closing. Okay, it actually closed when you press the back button, so that's fine. And then I'm going to delete the application, so it's installed somewhere. So my app, so I'll go to settings, and my Android emulator is not very fast on my device. Sometimes, I don't know, depends on the number of processes I run. So I want to go to settings. Okay, so settings, and then I'll come to apps and notification. So basically I just want to uninstall this app, this my app here. So I'll just click on it. And I'm going to uninstall it. Okay, so do you want to uninstall this app? Okay. And the app will be uninstalled from the Android emulator. So what I've uninstalled the app, right? I'm going to run it one more time. I'm going to put the command to run it in the Android emulator one more time. So let it just uninstall completely, and I'll do that. Okay, yeah, so it's uninstalled. So let's go back to the home. Okay, so this time I'm just going to write the command out because I actually know the command. So I'll say Ionic Cordova and run Android and dash dash emulator. And do I actually need, okay, I'll say dash dash live reload. Okay, so that's the command Ionic Cordova, not Cordova, but Cordova, run Android in the emulator with live reload. Okay, and then I'll hit enter, and it's going to install the app afresh on the emulator, and let's see whether that will fix the error we had. Okay, so you're already seeing how we are debugging. So basically I checked Google and I'm just doing what I found. All right, so the process has successfully been done. It has opened in my emulator, and as you can see, the test ad shows. Okay, so the banner ad actually shows. Let me just go to my homepage HTML, and I can't remember if you missed this. So basically, in my homepage.html, I added this click and show interstitial ad, if you remember. Okay, so basically I'm adding it to the button, the opening tag for the button, the learn more button on the home page. So if I click on the learn more button, let's see what happens. Do I need to click on it? Okay, so I clicked on the learn more button and it opens up an interstitial ad. It's a test ad, okay, because I used Google test ad ID. Okay, so this is it right here. So basically all I need to do now is to cancel this. All right, now let me just make this very clear. By the time you change the, let me go to admobs, admob free.service.ts. By the time you change your ID to your actual app ID, right, make sure that for any reason you don't click on your ads by yourself. Okay, if you do that, you're going to get in trouble with Google, and they may actually just disable your account, okay, as a penalty. So whenever I am testing, like when I'm starting to create my app, I actually start with this test IDs that are from Google. Okay, that's what I start with. So this particular ID you see here, or what you, as I copied it from the app toolkit, is actually a test ID that Google made specially for testing. Okay, all right, so now if you want to, let me just say this again, that if you want to then publish your app, you're going to need to make this false, and you're going to set your own ID. Okay, and also you're going to make, for the interstitial ads, you're going to make this is testing false, and you're going to change this to your own ID. Okay, so those are the important things that you need to know. So thus far we've been able to implement Google ID. Okay, now I created another application entirely. It's an application that I actually want to publish on the Google Play store. Okay, so I didn't want to, actually go through all the process of creating that because it actually took a lot of time. So this is for the tutorial, this is for the course purpose, the demo. But when I'm publishing my app, I'm going to publish an app that I actually want to publish on the Google Play Store. Okay, so it's going to stay on the Google Play Store. All right, so in the next lecture, we're going to discuss further on how we can create an APK file for our app. Thank you so much and see you in the next one.